Very good morning to all of our viewers in India and across the world tuning in to what is a very wet day here in the national capital. We're just meters outside Parliament for what we're expecting to be, hopefully a very auspicious day. The rain here in India is always seen as something that is propitious, something that is auspicious. Will it be something, that forebodes a good debate, a constructive discussion on day 2 of the Operation Sindoor Samvad, as we call it here in the country? We'll have to wait and see. Yesterday was a pretty good day. There were some disruptions, but Parliament was visible in all its hues. Some of the big guns on both sides really did fire. It started off with Rajnath Singh. It ended with External Affairs Minister Jaishankar. Went on till well after midnight yesterday in Parliament. Today promises to be pretty much the same, but it's going to be much, much bigger. And in a moment, I'll give you a sense of who all we're going to see speaking today in both houses of Parliament. I promise you it's going to be really big. All of it will be live here on NDTV. But before that, here are some very quick highlights in the rare chance that you may have missed some of these things from yesterday, day 1 in Parliament.
कभी कभी हमारे प्रतिपक्ष के लोग ये पूछते रहे हैं कि हमारे कितने बीमार गिरे। मुझे लगता है उनका यह प्रश्न हमारी राष्ट्रीय जनभावनाओं का सही से प्रतिनिधित्व नहीं कर रहा है। मुझे लगता है उन्होंने एक बार भी हमसे यह नहीं पूछा कि हमारी सेनाओं ने दुश्मन के कितने विमान मारे गिराए। यदि उन्हें प्रश्न पूछना ही है अध्यक्ष महोदय, तो उनका प्रश्न यह होना चाहिए, क्या भारत ने आतंकवादी ठिकानों को तबाह किया? तो उसका उत्तर है हाँ। आपको प्रश्न पूछना है तो यह प्रश्न पूछिए, क्या ऑपरेशन सिंदूर सफल रहा? तो उसका उत्तर है हाँ। आपको प्रश्न पूछना है तो यह पूछिए कि इस ऑपरेशन में क्या हमारे जाबाज सैनिकों को कोई क्षति हुई है? तो उसका उत्तर है नहीं।
रक्षा मंत्री होने के नाते ये नहीं कहा कि पहलगाम में दहशतगर्द कैसे आए। कहीं ना कहीं एक सरकार में एक अहंकार आ चुका है। इंटेलिजेंस और सिक्योरिटी जो फ्रेमवर्क है, एस्टैब्लिशमेंट है, जो लोग हैं जो निर्णय लेते हैं इंटेलिजेंस और सिक्योरिटी की, आज उनमें एक अहंकार आ गया है कि चाहे जितनी भी बड़ी गलती हो उन पर कोई सवाल नहीं उठा सकता। लेकिन आज हम सवाल उठा रहे हैं। नैतिक जिम्मेवारी आपको लेनी पड़ेगी। आप लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर के पीछे नहीं छुप सकते। आप लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर के पीछे ये केंद्र सरकार नहीं छुप सकती।
Sir, they attacked tourists and we attacked terrorists. We did not target Pakistan's civilians. Sir, this is not a reaction. This is a doctrine. This is the Modi doctrine. This is the new normal which Pakistan has now understood. India of today is not the India of 2008. This is very important because this turnaround, this new normal is because of our changed policies.
आपके सभी वक्तव्यों में कहा गया है कि पाकिस्तान घुटनों पे था। आप ही कह रहे हैं अगर पाकिस्तान घुटनों पे था तो सीज फायर की जो सीज फायर जिसको आपने स्वीकृति दी और आप कह रहे हैं कि हमने सीज फायर को माना, अगर पाकिस्तान घुटनों में था तो सीज फायर की क्या जस्टिफिकेशन है? अमेरिका की एक ट्वीट ने आपके युद्ध विराम की घोषणा से पहले की।
And like I said, Parliament went on till well past midnight last night. But the last big gun to fire from the government side last night was Dr. S. Jaishankar, the External Affairs Minister. And if you missed what he said, I want to put it out for you. I want to make it a point to put it out for you this morning because he busted a lot of myths. He busted one of the biggest myths in the world. The claims made by Donald Trump that he mediated the ceasefire and that he's the one who made the ceasefire happen between India and Pakistan. He's not doing it for the first time, but I want you to listen to very carefully to what the words are that Dr. S. Jaishankar chose to say in Parliament. Very important.
On the 10th of May, we received phone calls sharing the impression of other countries that Pakistan was ready to cease the fighting. Our position was, if Pakistan was ready, we needed to get this as a request from the Pakistani side through the DGMO channel. That is exactly how that request came. At no stage in any conversation with the United States, was there any linkage with trade and what was going on? Secondly, there was, please listen. Secondly, there was no call between the Prime Minister and President Trump from the 22nd of April when President Trump called up to convey his sympathy, and the 17th of June when he called up Prime Minister in Canada to explain why he could not meet. We highlighted that 9 sites had been targeted, and we said that our actions are focused, measured, and non-escalatory in nature. And we were living up to the commitment that those responsible for this attack will be held accountable. Today, when I hear many questions from across the aisle, I want to say, which one of you imagined that Bhavalpur and Muridke would be brought down the way it was? Which one of you thought? When did you even think of it during your tenure? Did it even cross your mind? In fact, on the contrary, you ruled it out after 26/11. Warnings about China, cautions about China, China is planning this, China is planning that. But sir, I want to remind this House, Doklam crisis was on. The leader of opposition decided to get a briefing from whom? Not from the government, not from the emir, from the Chinese ambassador. He took his briefing from the Chinese ambassador when our military was confronting the Chinese military in Doklam.
NDTV's political editor Vasudha Venugopal is reporting from Parliament. She's been looking at everything that's been happening inside, outside, and everything in between, the political waves between the opposition and the government. What a day it was yesterday, Vasudha. As we wait for Parliament to kick off day number 2, what are the big flashpoints today? Are we going to see a more structured, kick-off, or are there still some sticking points that could cause problems?
I like the word that you used, Shiv, structured, because yesterday there was a lot of confusion as to who the speakers are going to be, especially from the opposition point of view. We heard initially that Priyanka Gandhi would be speaking today, but then it was Dipinder Hooda who spoke in her place. Today, both Gandhis are going to speak, Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi. And most importantly, the debate is going to be initiated by the Home Minister, Amit Shah, in the Lok Sabha, and then, of course, in the Rajya Sabha. Amit Shah speaks around 12 o'clock. In the Rajya Sabha, Rajnath Singh, Raksha Mantri, will speak around 2 p.m. The question hour is going to take place. Remember, that is sacrosanct, and that the government has made it very clear that it will not disrupt it for anybody's demands. The opposition is going to have a protest at 10 a.m. on the special intensive revision of electoral rules. The hearing is also expected to take place in a few minutes from now in the Supreme Court. So clearly a very important news-packed day. But like you rightly said, the government and the opposition saw a fierce contest yesterday on the floor of the Lok Sabha. This was a debate that reminded me of the Waqf debate, on the CAA debate, and also constitution debate, because everything was cordial. There were many disagreements, and I did realize that the government put in a point-to-point rebuttal of every criticism that the opposition came up with. The opposition asked some important questions on the intelligence failure and also on the military offensive and the kind of outcomes that they've had. And I think Jaishankar, the external affairs minister, rounded up by saying that blood and water will not flow together, something that the Prime Minister has reiterated, while Rajnath Singh said that, you don't ask a child who has scored full marks as to why he broke his pencil. So clearly, a minister dividing the portfolios and discussion points amongst themselves, the opposition doing the same. But today is going to be rather more important because the Home Minister speaks today, and we will see not just the outline of not just the foreign policy and military offensive, but also what Operation Sindoor means for the national security of the country. So that is what we are getting ready for.
Vasudha, very quickly before I let you go, for those of our viewers who are still tuning in, do we have any clarity of if and when the Prime Minister will speak today?
Yes, we have been told that the Prime Minister could be speaking later in the evening. Yesterday, when we spoke to a senior minister, he said a decision, a call on whether the PM would like to talk or not would be taken later last night. And remember that last time when Rahul Gandhi speak, there were 6 ministers, Shiv, who intervened. The Prime Minister also spoke. So clearly there is an intervention from the Prime Minister that is expected. And why not? Because this is Operation Sindoor. The Prime Minister has owned it in all respects. So clearly, there is an expectation. There's a big likelihood that he's going to speak, and that's going to happen later this evening. But of course, we'll have to wait and see how the Home Minister talks about this. He initiates the debate, and then people are also waiting for how Rahul Gandhi asks. And preempting this, Dr. S. Jaishankar did speak a lot about China yesterday, which was a little unexpected, but considering that he preempted that Rahul Gandhi would speak on China, he did attack Rahul Gandhi a lot. So he's going to speak on all of that. And of course, later in the evening is when we expect the Prime Minister to speak.
Vasudha, thanks very much for bringing us that. All systems go for what is going to be easily the most crucial day for the Operation Sindoor debate. And like I said, I promise you on NDTV, we will be cutting live to every big speech in Parliament. You do not have to worry about that. You do not have to worry about switching. You will see it live with real-time analysis and breakdown on your screen as the big people speak. Amit Shah kicks it off, remember, at 12, Rajnath Singh at 2, Prime Minister possibly later in the evening. All of it will be live. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, Rahul Gandhi and others as well. One small sticking point that's happening before Parliament opens that has become a big political issue is over Manish Tiwari, the prominent Punjab MP whose entire, the possibility of him being a speaker in Parliament today has now become the Shashi Tharoor 2.0 controversy. I'm going to refer to it in just a moment. I'm going to show you his tweet in just a moment because he's put out a tweet which many people are calling cryptic. But I see it as perhaps the most direct sort of snub and slight to his own party, where he is registering his displeasure, his irritation, annoyance, and maybe his anger over being benched during the Operation Sindoor debate. Remember, like Shashi Tharoor, Manish Tiwari was also part of one of the international delegations, multi-party delegations that were sent abroad. But Manish Tiwari, once again, conspicuously absent from the speaker list. This is a very strange system, a strange situation as far as the Congress is concerned, because at a time when the real flashpoint is between the Congress and the government, there are these internal frictions, I beg your pardon, that seem to be erupting. I want to go across to our guest this morning because the sidelights in Parliament are occupying as much mind space and energy perhaps than the real meat of the package inside Parliament. Rohan Gupta of the BJP, formerly of the Congress, is with me live. Nikhil Jain is an advocate and a policy analyst. He supports the Congress party. We have other guests joining us in just a short moment from now. Rohan, I want to quickly come to you first. You have the unique distinction of having spent time in both parties, Rohan. I wanted to kick it off by asking you about Manish Tiwari. The reason I'm doing that is because his social media post, Rohan, is far from cryptic. He is registering his displeasure and his sort of protest maybe, his rebellion maybe against his party over being benched during the Operation Sindoor debate. You know Manish Tiwari well. What do you think about this?
I think he is another victim of so-called darbaris of Congress party, because he represented country for Operation Sindoor across the world, and that's why the darbaris of Congress won't like it, and he's not part of the list. See, this is the irony of Congress party of today. Anything which is for the country, anything which is favorable to the country, they are opposing it. Why these two people are not there? They should have taken this opportunity to be part of Operation Sindoor, but they are not doing that. What they are choosing is Chidambaram speaking for Pakistan. What they are doing is Pramod Tiwari speaking for Pakistan. This is a clear-cut loss of narrative as far as Congress party is concerned. They don't understand what is the reality on ground, what are the sentiments of the people. They are keeping their goalpost keeps on changing, their questions keeps on changing. Till yesterday the question was, where are those terrorists? When yesterday under Operation Madhav the terrorists were killed, today they are asking different questions. See, we need to understand one thing. There are certain issues which are above politics. When it is about the country, when it is about the valor of our army, you cannot be just seeing as opposition asking questions again and again. You are trusting the other leaders of the world more than your own ministers. That's what Mr. Amit Shah told yesterday. When minister clearly says that Mr. Modi has never spoken to Trump, still they don't want to trust. because they are very, very clear that they want to play politics. And in the eyes of people, because of this approach of Congress party, the narrative is completely out. And today, nobody trusts Congress party. And yesterday, army has slapped the biggest. They have given the biggest slap on the face of Congress party, and they are completely exposed. When Congress party says that Pakistan is not behind this Pahalgam attack, yesterday our army proved the other.
Nikhil Jain, yesterday when you were with us on our coverage, we were talking about Shashi Tharoor. You took the example of Manish Tiwari saying, he's going to be one of the speakers. Now you've seen what happened. Clearly it is a pattern. Clearly Manish Tiwari has also been benched. He has shared, a grab of a news article that talks about how he has been benched, pretty much confirming that because he spoke in favor of the government during Operation Sindoor, he has been left out. He is an outcast in the Congress and in Parliament.
Absolutely not, Shiv. I don't agree with the fact that Manish Tiwari is an outcast in the eyes of the Congress. At the end of the day, he is a sitting member of Parliament of the Congress Party, and he's always been a very important leader for the Indian National Congress. He's been the president of the Indian Youth Congress. So far as his current role in the Operation Sindoor and the Pahalgam terror attack debates is concerned, I honestly do feel that is probably a strategic decision that is taken collectively by the party, its communication in charges, and perhaps Mr. Tiwari and Dr. Tharoor themselves, that this is a government that does not realize, the proprieties of how do you go about functioning in a Westminster system. For instance, when the Congress MPs were Congress and other MPs from other opposition parties were sent abroad to represent the stand of the government of India, and these MPs said things which was essentially the line that the government of India had said. What did the BJP do domestically? All of these MPs, whether they were from the BJP or the Congress or any other party, they did a fabulous job. They presented India's stand to the global stage. But the BJP tried to use
Nikhil, this is all rhetoric. At the end of the day, this is all rhetoric.
I'm not. I'll tell you.
But Nikhil, you have to allow me. This is what you're saying. We'll talk about the BJP in a moment. There are many problems with the BJP as well. Trust me, I am not a journalist who will shy away from talking about the issues with the BJP. Rohan also knows that. I am asking you, in this mahal, in this debate that is happening in Parliament, which is just about a few meters from where I'm sitting right now, you have a situation where Shashi Tharoor says he's under a Maun Vrat, and you have Manish Tiwari openly rebelling against the party by putting out a picture of an article about why he was benched. And he says, भारत में रहता हूँ और भारत की बात सुनाता हूँ. Or something to that effect is what he has said in the tweet, which basically means that I will speak for the country. Is he saying that, the Congress has benched him because he spoke for the country? In this case, speaking, in favor of the government as far as Operation Sindoor is concerned, it looks really bad on the Congress party to bench someone like Manish Tiwari in this case.
No, Shiv, I don't think anybody is going to question that Mr. Manish Tiwari, Dr. Tharoor, or anybody from the Congress or any other political party in the country does not speak for the country. Of course, all of them do. And I was not trying to make a rhetoric earlier. The point that I tried to make was that while the multi-party delegations were out, the BJP used it domestically against their respective parties. They attacked the Congress on what Dr. Tharoor was saying abroad, the same thing that Dr. Tharoor was supposed to say because he was part of a delegation sent by the government. I think the Congress party is fearing something like that again, that when Mr. Manish Tiwari or Dr.
Nikhil,
Tharoor
let me turn the question on its head. Let me turn the question on its head. Is the Congress scared that if they allow Shashi Tharoor or Manish Tiwari to speak in Parliament, instead of attacking the government, they'll attack the Congress party? Is there a trust deficit with these two leaders? Surely that it cannot be the case. They are both disciplined MPs and belong to the Congress party. They haven't quit the party. While they are within the party, is there any possibility that they will go against the line of argument inside Parliament? How can that be the case?
No.
How can you possibly
No.
suggest that someone like a Shashi Tharoor or a Manish Tiwari is not preferable to someone like a Dipender Hooda or a Gaurav Gogoi?
Shiv, give me 30 seconds to make the point. I think I have not been clear enough. I did not intend to say that Dr. Tharoor or Mr. Tiwari are going to end up saying things that are going to hurt the Congress. I am saying that when they speak for the Congress in the Parliament, question the government on the way the government acted, the BJP is going to go around and play the bites these same leaders made during the all-party delegations and then say, oh, look, you said thing A during the delegation and you're saying thing B during the Parliament session. Therefore, the moment you come into the Congress, you say something that is against national interest. That is what I'm talking about. For instance, Dr. Tharoor during the all-party delegation Agarwal said that this is a new India, this is a strong India. We are not going to hold back from attacking against terror, even if it is the state of Pakistan, right? Now, if he stands in Parliament today and he says, "Ki,
But
what
this
has
just
this
shows the
government
cynical
done? This is a
nature.
weak government."
But this just shows the cynical nature of the Congress, Nikhil. You're trying to say that by speaking in favor of the country, they're speaking in favor of the government.
The
You're
government.
giving a full
No,
toss
no.
to the BJP by saying that. You're
Absolutely,
literally giving a full toss to the BJP by saying
Shiv,
that. Let me bring Rohan back in.
absolutely, absolutely.
Let me bring
Give me
Rohan
20
back in.
seconds.
Rohan, do you buy
Just
this
10 seconds, 10
argument?
seconds, 10 seconds.
Do you buy this argument that I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you, Nikhil. Shashi Tharoor and Manish Tiwari have been benched, Rohan, because the BJP, because the Congress is wary of the BJP pulling out their old bite, supporting the government and saying, "Acha, you're saying one thing in Parliament, but earlier you had said this." Is this an argument you buy, Rohan?
I think you have hit the nail. See, this is the problem. Congress wants to play politics above the country. This is the evidence. And you have completely hit the nail because this is what the Congress party's mindset today. They don't trust their own leaders. Two top leaders who have vast experience of foreign policy. They have balanced the country well. They have ensured that Operation Sindoor is represented well. They don't trust them. Otherwise, you tell me this is the opportunity of the Congress party to be part of Operation Sindoor and say that yes, we have also contributed. But they don't want to do that. In fact, they want to ride on people like Chidambaram and Pramod Tiwari who are supporting Pakistan indirectly. This is really loss of face as far as Congress party is concerned. And that's why always I say again and again, Shiv, this is the result of the Darbari culture of Congress party, where the real feedback of the ground they don't reach the top leaders. And this kind of decision, they are suicidal. How can you not allow these top leaders speak on the parliament when the Operation Sindhu debate is going and when they have been part of the Operation Sindhu, and because of one of these leaders, one country had to change the statement? What are you saying? This is completely loss of face as far as Congress party is concerned, and that's why they are shying away from the Operation Sindhu debate. Yesterday, many instances, Jaishankar ji and Rajnath ji, they clarified each and every point. After that also, if Congress party wants to play politics on this subject, I think today also they have lost this opportunity to be part of success of Operation Sindhu.
Nikhil, final point on this topic and then I'll move to the next one. Quick point, Nikhil.
No. Shiv, so I don't want to say it at first because I thought that was a slip of tongue by the BJP national spokesperson. But he's been saying again and again, this is an opportunity for the Congress to be a part of Operation Sindoor. Let me tell him that the politicians, whether from the BJP or the Congress, have no right to be a part of Operation Sindoor. It was a military operation. It was our brave soldiers who carried out the operation and delivered a wonderful success. That is the problem, that you always... No, I think that
we have right to celebrate our success. And you had opportunity to do that.
Success. Don't try to...
There was absolutely clear opportunity with Congress party to at least course correct the mistakes they have done. What are you saying? This is the opportunity for us to celebrate Operation Sindoor, Operation Mahadev, where India has represented themselves at international forum and exposed Pakistan at all the fronts.
Politicians are the ones who are only talking about it, who are giving directions. They are the ones who are
There is no point in debating with you. But Congress party has completely lost the opportunity.
I'll tell you, okay, one at a time.
Operation, the politicians don't have any right to be a part of it or to claim glory for it. We as Indians all have the right to be proud of it. But you are not going to take credit or steal credit from the armed forces of the country.
The irony in this whole situation, let me say very frankly, and I did a piece on this on my show a couple of days ago as well, is that the opposition should be basking in the glory of the success of Operation Sindoor because the opposition was part of it. The opposition is part of the Indian political system. And the opposition is part of the entire compact and agreement between the opposition and the government that they would stand behind the government and support them in whatever military action they ordered. And therefore, the opposition can also take credit for Operation Sindoor, which is why I fail to understand this absolutely ridiculous shallow politics that is being played over why are you taking credit? It is the military that did it. We are a political system. We are a democracy. Nothing can happen without political consensus.
Absolutely.
Can Operation Sindoor happen without bipartisan political consensus? It cannot happen. That is the reason why I find these arguments about credit and chest thumping a little shallow and a little hypocritical. Now, one final point before I move because we've got limited time. I just want to say one thing about the Shashi Tharoor and Manish Tiwari issue. Okay? This is a parliament. You've got two of the most qualified most experienced, most relevant members of parliament on this particular issue, both who've just gone out into the world carrying India's Operation Sindoor message, both falling victim to the internal dynamics of the party for whatever reasons. Whether it is what Nikhil is claiming, whether it is what Rohan is claiming, that is irrelevant to the viewer. The point is that the citizens of India will not have the pleasure of hearing Shashi Tharoor and Manish Tiwari. And I think that is the net point as far as this is concerned. Now I want to move to issue number 2, and we will also be joined by Air Vice Marshal P.K. Srivastav and Vedam Jaishankar, who's a well-known sports journalist, who will also be giving us his opinion on perhaps the most viral comment from Parliament yesterday. The most shared easily, millions of views, millions of comments, came from Asaduddin Owaisi. Asaduddin Owaisi made a longish speech yesterday in Parliament, but I'm going to play out for you a bit that has exploded, because he was talking about India-Pakistan cricket. He called out the government and the BCCI and the Indian cricket system on why cricket is going to be taking place under the Asia Cup between India and Pakistan. He has struck a chord with the citizens of India, viewer. There is no doubt about it, because the amount of traction that one soundbite you're about to hear is getting is unusual. Listen to it and some of the other reactions coming in from Parliament.
सवाल आपके जरिए से वजीर आजम और हुकूमत से ये है, फिर जिन इंसानों को बैसारा की वादी में मारा गया था, क्या आपका जमीर इस बात की इजाजत देता है कि आप ट्रेड बंद कर दिए, पाकिस्तान का एयरक्राफ्ट हमारे एयर स्पेस में नहीं आ सकता, उनकी कश्ती हमारे पानी में नहीं आ सकती, ट्रेड खत्म हो चुका है डायरेक्ट इनडायरेक्टेड, आपका जमीर जिंदा क्यों नहीं है? किस सूरत से आप पाकिस्तान से क्रिकेट मैच खेलेंगे जब हम पानी नहीं दे रहे हैं? 80% पानी पाकिस्तान का हम रोक रहे हैं, ये कहकर के पानी और खून नहीं बहेगा, आप क्रिकेट मैच खेलेंगे? मैडम, मेरा जमीर तो गवारा नहीं करता कि मैं उस मैच को देखूंगा। क्या इस हुकूमत में इतनी हिम्मत है कि उन 25 मरने वालों को फोन करके कहे कि देखो हमने ऑपरेशन सिंदूर में बदला ले लिया, अब तुम पाकिस्तान का मैच देखो? बड़ी अफसोस की बात है मैडम।
भारत और पाकिस्तान का क्रिकेट मैच भी होने वाला है।
हाँ, क्रिकेट खेलो, खूब खेलो क्रिकेट। तुम्हें देश से मतलब नहीं है? देश की संप्रभुता से मतलब नहीं, देश की अखंडता से मतलब नहीं, देश के अंदर हमारी बहनों का सुहाग गुजार रहे हैं, उनके साथ तुम क्रिकेट खेलोगे? तुम्हें शर्म नहीं आ रही? अपने चंद पैसों के लिए तुम उसके साथ क्रिकेट खेलोगे?
बीसीसीआई ने कहा है सरकार ने ही पहले परमिशन दी है, उसके बाद
तो सरकार ने परमिशन, मैं तो सरकार से ही कह रहा हूँ, फिर क्यों ढोंग कर रहे हो? यहाँ पाकिस्तान पाकिस्तान, जहाँ धंधा मिलेगा वहां काम करोगे। फौरन चाइना में भी चले गए, चाइना ने पाकिस्तान को सारे हथियार दिए, तुम चाइना में भी चले गए, क्या तमाशा है?
And Saurav Ganguly is facing a huge amount of heat as well for his comments on how, terrorism must stop, but sports must go on, and how he's changed his tune after a huge backlash. This is Saurav Ganguly, one of the most prominent Indian cricketing veterans and icons. Take a look at this. It gives you a sense of just how strongly people feel about this issue.
हर रिश्ता जो है पाकिस्तान के साथ अब लगभग तोड़ी जा रही है, चाहे वीज़ा के मामले में हो, चाहे और चीज़ के रिश्ता
तोड़ना भी चाहिए, 100% तोड़ना चाहिए, स्ट्रिक्ट एक्शन लेना जरूरी है, ये कोई मजाक नहीं है यार, हर साल ऐसे होता रहता है।
Sports is different. I'm happy that they are playing. It's an honest confession. Pahalgam should not happen, death should not happen, but sports is sport.
Okay, Rohan and Nikhil continue to be with us. Air Vice Marshal Srivastav and Vedam Jaishankar also join this discussion. Cricket is the is the flavor of the most viral comment from Parliament on day one of the Operation Sindoor debate. Who would have thought? From Asaduddin Owaisi, lots of discussion. Millions of views and shares on social media as well. It's become a very, very big talking point. Vedam, I'd like to kick it off with you. What do you think about this? There are all these hypocrisies involved when it comes to India-Pakistan cricket. Expediency, convenience usually seems to be the order of the day. In this particular case, it's very jarring because the Cup of Legends was cancelled, but now the Asia Cup is going to proceed between India and Pakistan. There is one level of spin being given saying, it's not a bilateral series and therefore, India doesn't want to pull out of it and give Pakistan a walkover, which is one narrative being pushed to justify playing Pakistan in the Asia Cup. What do you think, Vedam?
Good morning, Shiv. Since you asked me what is my opinion, let me tell you very frankly, I agree with virtually what OSC said. OSC himself was a cricketer. Not many know that. He was a fast bowler. He was a cricketer. But that apart, if the question is about Asia Cup and money, then let me say that even if India plays against Sri Lanka, we'll make a lot of money. There'll be a lot of eyeballs, there'll be a lot of money. So we don't need an Asia Cup as such. If on the other hand, it's a question of giving money to other Asian countries. I don't mean the test playing countries, but the other smaller Asian countries. The test playing countries of Asia can set a part of the money that they're going to earn from tests and one day to help develop cricket in other places. Maybe India can give the lion's share. Again, look, I'm not a political person, but the way this is going on, look, I think BJP is very sharp, very smart. But the way it's going on, I have a feeling that this whole thing is just a smoke screen. They are diverting attention from some other debate and allowing the media, that's the print and the electronic media, to be obsessed with this particular thing. Because I don't think we'll play Pakistan at all in this case. Because if you have stopped water, if you have stopped flights, if you have stopped everything, why would you go and play? It's like telling, go on, please kill us, but we will not allow sports to interfere in politics. We play cricket, but you can kill us. That's exactly the message that will be going across. I don't think BJP is so stupid that they will allow this. There is a point of view that if had this tournament been sometime in 2028, 2029, then if the general elections close by, then we would not have played against Pakistan. I don't think even in 2025, BJP will allow this match to go on. And this whole aspect of the debate and other things which is going on in the media, I think is just a smokescreen.
Vice Marshal Srivastav, I wanted to get your view in on this. As a military man, generally your observations on what the debate has looked like, and what did you think about, a comment about cricket continuing between two countries that have just almost gone to war, being one of the most resonating comments coming in on the Operation Sindoor debate, Vice Marshal Srivastav?
Shiv, I'm very happy to be on your show. It's always a pleasure. I'll pick up the first point, cricket, and then go about the debate which is going on in Parliament. The first point about cricket, as a military man, I'm telling you, we believe in selection and maintenance of aim. That is the first principle of warfare. We selected that this is a country where we are on pause, and we have to have the Shatru Bodh for us to really hit them hard and hit them where it hurts. So if I play cricket in between, I'm sending an absolutely wrong message to my troops, to my air warriors, to my naval warriors. I mean, you get a confused message. Are we politically ready to really take them on? Are they really the enemy? Because first thing which happens, if you do not have the Shatru Bodh, you cannot fight with full valor, power, and the resources you have at your disposal. The armies differ from each other, not in resources only. They differ in their, kind of emotion they carry, the kind of nationalism they carry, the kind of patriotism they carry, and kind of meaning they carry to this purpose. So from the perspective of our pause, I should say we must honor the pause that we are still in conflict. We are in readiness. We want to attack the moment something goes wrong. That means that I cannot play cricket with them. That is my answer number one. Even from military perspective, I would not like to. I want
to ask you, Vice Marshal Srivastav, before I come to the Operation Sindoor part, I want to ask you more about the cricket part, because then I have to take a small break. I want to ask you about the cricket part a little bit more. The Air Force has been at the front of Operation Sindoor. What would air warriors, pilots, ground staff, engineers, maintenance persons watching Parliament and watching these decisions, what would be going on in their minds? Tell us, because you've been in the Air Force. What would be in their minds seeing that Asia Cup is going to happen between India and Pakistan as well?
Shiv, one missile or one aircraft flies in the air or it hits the target, there are almost all hues of air warriors involved. Now, whole of Air Force would be, had I been in Air Force, would be, we are disciplined force, we don't express ourselves, but would be hurt, if nothing else. We'll be hurt what as a nation we are thinking of. We are willing to sacrifice, anything, everything which is there, because that Josh, that Jazba, and that feeling is there that this is my country, this is my flag, and I will die for my flag. What I'm doing to that kind of emotion, the emotion is the most important part. If you really ask me, very, very important part of war fighting is morale. Maintenance of morale will take a beating, and I'll urge the powers that are, the people who take the decision, that this is not contextual. I'm not against sports. The sports is part of all kinds of activities we do, but this is not the time and place and the message.
And I can assure you, Air Vice Marshal Srivastav, that the powers that be are listening. And here on NDTV, we feel very strongly about this issue. That's why we believe it is the most resonant, and it has certainly touched a chord.